We started off in Perth, on as far as the very southern tip of Western, and then back again up to as far as uh, just north of the Tropic of Capricorn. So in the equatorial zone, round about here. Uh, so there's kind of big changes in terrain and scenery and etc. and all the rest of it. This is I don't know if you can see this, but it's something I took from a car. But can you see that bird?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I
Oh
mean,
gosh.
no, it's called a mallee bird. It's sort of
Wow.
it's not as big as an emu, but it's and there was a baby somewhere in the bushes here. It just tiddled off, but I just managed to get a quick snap of it. But oh, this is a little bungalow we stayed in on the beach for a few nights at
Oh,
gorgeous.
oh, gorgeous.
Monkey Mere. So you just step down from the terrace straight onto the beach.
Oh,
Uh, the sun was. This is where the dolphins came in actually. In the first thing in the morning, they come in at 8 o'clock every morning. Or they're pretty much on time actually. And they just there are shoals of fish quite close to the shore, so they just come in and have their breakfast and then toodle off. Oh, and this was down the road. This was the view going back into the town of Denham. You see that gorgeous turquoise uh, shade in the water there.
yeah.
These are solar panels, but there was a family of wallabies. Escaped the temperatures
Oh,
in the 40s, and they were uh, hiding from the heat, well, resting from the heat behind these solar panels, which seemed quite sort of bizarre, really. A road, a track going through the valley. Probably it's probably a riverbed that actually. Uh, I think I mentioned that this is what it looks like at this time of the year, but there are signs everywhere saying flooding, and they have staffs measuring the depth, like 2 meters of water and stuff like that. So the landscape must change dramatically throughout the year. But this is late spring or heading into summer, really. So, but on Friday on the beach, it's there's so many beaches where there's nobody. It's just incredible, and this beautiful sand, and then you can see the fish in the water, uh, so clear.
Did you not have sand flies?
Oh, no. We
Oh,
had flies inland where it was very hot in the gorge, but then it was heading towards 50 degrees, so it's kind of
oh.
it was just unbearable, really. But this was we went on a safari with a Aboriginal guide. Uh, you just see my thumb in the top corner there on uh, rule of thumb. Yeah, there's loads of photographs like that with my thumb all over them. But we went off track, and there were six of us in this. Well, there was two vehicles. Uh, we had a we were in the second one with a driver called Chloe. I think I've mentioned Chloe before. She was about mid-20s and strapping Australian girl, really, really lovely country girl, and she was talking to us a lot just about nature and about the things we could see and all the rest of it. But then we were connected by radio to the Aboriginal guide in the first vehicle, and he was giving more commentary as well. And we stopped a lot, and when we did a lot of walking about, and he did a lot of showing us tracks and echidna tracks and emu tracks and things like that. Okay, this is a crap photograph, but I wanted to get this osprey. Uh,
mm.
I mean, it's very kind of far away and all the rest of it, but he's just perching there for presumably uh, waiting to go and get his supper or his lunch or whatever. There's the performing pelicans. totally oblivious to people. This was about the busiest place we went to, actually. It's a place called Monkey Mere. Okay, peas were poison. Tells you all you need to know on there. You see these signs all over the place. Dried meat or sausage baits containing 1080 poison are regularly laid past this point to control foxes and feral cats. It's poisonous to humans and will kill cats and dogs. Please leave your pets at home or prevent them from entering this area. We asked about this, and apparently it sounds rather cruel, but in fact it's to protect the ecosystem, because foxes and cats are not endemic to Australia, and they do a lot of damage to the ecosystem.
What's it called again?
Quokka. It's a marsupial. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute, but it is very sweet. Okay, this is look at this carefully and see what you think it is. Well, you know what it is, don't you? But it's a sculpture that's been made from debris found on beaches. Everything is kind of detritus that's been found on a beach.
Yeah.
So these are bits of old ships, engineering bits and bobs. These are fishing nets, and somebody's made this turtle out of them. I think the face is fantastic. It's
a bit creepy.
Well, yeah, it's like an ET turtle, isn't it? Really, but you can see all the bits of engineering materials there that they're put in. But it's just stunning when you see it. It's about, I don't know, probably about 12 foot long, you know. So it's
wow.
This was in I suppose a aquarium type museum in the last place we stayed at Exmouth, but and we thought, oh God, you know, an aquarium museum. But it was absolutely brilliant. All the museums and things we went to were really, really excellently run and interesting. Anyway, there you go. Oh, right. Going back to the Quokka. This is a place called Rottnest Island, which is about, you had to take a ferry from Perth or Fremantle, that's about 20 kilometers. Used to be attached to the mainland, but over time it's been moved further out into the Indian Ocean has encroached and made it an island. So it has some kind of it has a colony of quokkas on it, which you kind of find them elsewhere in Australia, but they're 45 minutes on a ferry out from Fremantle. But lovely beaches, lots of wildlife, including deadly snakes. But also Rottnest Island, rather sadly, was at one point used as a prison for Aboriginals. Because when the settlers first arrived, they put up fences, and we talked about this before. And, you know, put sheep and cattle and all the rest of it. Well, Aboriginals have no sense of ownership or property. They don't understand that the earth belongs to everybody according to them. So they would perhaps kill a sheep or something and get thrown into prison. And eventually they were taken, they built this prison at Rottnest Island. And most Aborigines won't go there. You know, it's a place of, I suppose it's kind of haram if you're looking at a Muslim kind of view. Oh, the thorny devil. Looks like
it's like a skeleton, isn't it? It's a strange looking thing.
It's a very strange creature.
Yeah, beautiful thing. What is it?
It's a kind of lizard.
Yeah.
But
Oh, wow.
It's
Looks prehistoric.
well,
Yes,
yeah. I think it's just very kind of.
probably is. Yeah.
It doesn't have any predators, apparently. It's called a thorny devil, but you can actually stroke it. Have I mentioned these before?
Oh, wow.
Is that
But instead of chopping them down,
Paint them.
paint them blue. And this is a mental health awareness. It's supposed to remind you that to look out for your fellow man. That's what it means, basically. So if you know anybody's in any kind of trouble, uh, and you could be this is in Fremantle, but you could be driving along in the middle of nowhere, miles and miles from anywhere, and there'll be one of these things painted blue. Sort of
Good Lord.
all over this, well, all over this, here and there over the state, but so it's to make you aware of other people's health, basically. It's kind of a nice sort of idea, isn't it? Really? But we used Uber quite a bit. When we arrived in Perth after what seemed like an interminable flight, we just got in a taxi to go to the airport, to the hotel, and this Pakistani guy, youngish fella, is a university student, charged us $75, which seems rather a lot, but like when you're all half asleep and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, a dollar it's $2 to a pound, basically. So it's not. So anyway, we got to the hotel and all this, and then a few days later, we had to go back to the airport to pick up the hire car. So we got an Uber, and it was $40. So apparently, all over Australia, there are protests from taxi drivers about the people using Ubers all the time. It's Vegemite, which is of course Marmite. You either love it or hate it, and I did try it, and it's absolutely foul. It's I don't hate Marmite, but it's not my favorite. But this is just disgusting. But a lot of people like it, so there you go. It's kind of so it's Vegemite is definitely Marmite. But in this picture we have a rock wallaby. Can you see it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's right.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking in the wrong place. Oh,
So
no, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, camouflaged against.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I've suddenly got it. Yeah.
Protective.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a great photograph, but you can see the tail. And
No.
It's moving.
Yeah. I can see.
There's quite a few of them around. This here, but apparently they're susceptible to dingoes and things like that. But these are quite sure how to say this. It's the Xantharis.
Like cartoon characters.
Xantharis. Yeah, right. These trees grow all over the place. They're very quick growing. So I mean, you get a lot of bushfires in Australia, and it's interesting to see how quickly the natural. I mean, kind of the nature replaces itself basically. And these are one of the examples of the strange looking things, aren't they? But quite, I don't know. Anyway, I like them.
Yeah.
This is Yardy's Creek, which was all these amazing rock formations and all this, as my grandma would call it, bird lime. But the egrets and a long way away, difficult to photograph those. Okay, well, we're on wide. Let's go to Z then. Oh yeah, there's another Yardy. Yeah, this Japanese woman in the exercise yard at Fremantle Jail. I don't know. Everywhere we went, there were Japanese women posing, having photographs taken. It's unbelievable. Oh, and Z is zebra finch.
A zebra finch. I used to have some of those.
But they're quite common. They're quite common in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and these are formations of seashells. The ancient seashells but it's not rock. It's just I can't remember what they're called. I think that's probably
Wow.
the end of my discourse. But if I
Great
can,
stuff, Graham. Really good.
Yeah,
Really
thank you.
fascinating.
Brilliant, Graham.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Really good, Graham. Thank you. It's
Thank you.
fascinating.
I'm just looking out of the window now and thinking, oh dear, I wish I was in Australia.
Oh, not at 50 degrees.
how do you think I
don't like
feel?
Savannah.